Welcome back to the beautiful shores of Milwaukee. This is Myth Informed, a Mythicist Milwaukee podcast. Look for the premiere of the movie Batman and Jesus, produced in collaboration with King's Tower Productions as part of Myth Information Conference 4 on September 30th, 2017. An audience for the Batman and Jesus movie premiere include Seth Andrews, creator and host of The Thinking Atheist, atheist celebrity Aaron Ra, Mythicist scholar Dr. Richard Carrier, Naked Mormonism podcast creator and host Bryce Blankenagel, CEO of Atheist Republic Ali Jackson, and a slew of other guests. The Myth Information Conference will include the very exciting buzzed belief debate titled Islam in the Age of Trump between Asra Nomani and Faisal Saeed al-Mutar that will be moderated by Matt Dillahunty. The conference will also include a lineup of speakers such as London-based YouTube juggernaut Sargon of Akkad, also YouTube sensations Armored Skeptic and Shoe on Head, and Global Humanist Secular Movement editor Melissa Chen. We will also be hosting a special VIP party where VIP ticket holders will be privy to a private presentation by Ron Miscavige, father of David Miscavige, the leader of Scientology, on his experience with Scientology during and after his escape. To learn more or to purchase tickets for Myth Information Conference 4, visit us at mythicistmilwaukee.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to Myth Informed. We are your hosts. Today I'm Jake, and with me I have...
This is Joseph.
Welcome to the show. We have a guest on today, and she's great.
Melissa Shoshahi. She is an internationally touring LA-based stand-up comedian who hosts the podcast Mel Talk, which is available on iTunes every other Wednesday. You may have seen her in the TV show Laughs on Fox, and she's going to be in a movie coming up this fall called Austin Found. She makes us laugh. She's very funny. Here's Melissa Shoshahi.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I went to your website, and I have to say I respect that your schedule is up to date, because we've had other guests. I don't want to name names. Specific. I'm not going to name one name particularly, who never updated his touring deal. He recently did, though. We had him on. He never updated, and then he yelled at me. Well, yell is a strong word. Criticized me for bringing that up, so I wanted to compliment you on having a sharp website.
Thank you. I mean, I try to update it as much as I can.
You do it yourself?
Yeah, I want people to know where I'm at.
See, that's the initiative I'm talking about right there. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's half of making it, I guess, updating your website.
Right. It is. And it is an effort, especially when you're like having to do it yourself. So where do you like to travel when you get to travel for tours? Or what's like your favorite?
To travel. You know where I would love to travel, and I haven't been there yet? Like, I want to do a tour somewhere tropical. Like, I want to go to Hawaii. I want to go to, like, Mexico. Yeah. I want to go to Miami. Pretty much wherever I want a vacation is where I want people to send me. So anybody listening that has a comedy club in freaking Cancun, hit me up.
I think most of our audience is in Cancun.
Yeah.
I wish they were. That would be great.
They're vicariously living.
Yeah. I don't want to travel somewhere cold where it's like ice, and I mean, it would be cool to like do a show in, like, I don't know, Alaska and stuff like that. But yeah. I'm digging somewhere warm.
Yeah.
So no shows in Wisconsin then.
Very cool. Very cool.
I would go because you guys are there.
Yeah.
I did a few shows in Canada. I did a Canada tour like 2 years ago, and we went to Toronto, and it was so funny. The day we landed there, our promoter guy that picked us up was like, just to let you know, today's the coldest day of the year.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Like, I think I froze my eggs naturally when I was up there. It was so cold. It was so cold. All I remember was like getting from my hotel into the car to the venue, back into the car into the hotel, because it was that cold.
I understand that.
I didn't get to see anything of Toronto. I'm so bummed. I need to go back when it's warmer.
But you're already doing so many different things in like film and comedy. You do stand up. You do. You have your YouTube channel. I know you have updating all of your social media all the time. What other kind of stuff do you do that maybe not everyone knows about? Like what other stuff?
I actually edit. I've been getting into editing. I use Premiere Pro, and I've been editing like sketches, and I actually edit like people's acting reels and stuff like that. So I just got into it this past couple years.
Nice.
So I do that, and then I play the piano, and then I draw really, really bad, and I do yoga really bad.
Wow.
And then what else do I do? Oh, I paint my nails like every other day. I'm pretty good at that. My mom used to own a nail salon.
Do you get pretty intricate with that?
I do a lot of, nail painting, and I wax myself because my mom also, she sold her nail salon, and she's not Vietnamese. She sold her nail salon, and then she opened up a waxing salon, and she taught me how to wax, and I'm a licensed esthetician, so I waxed my own Brazilian, which is a really huge gift. Wow. And then what else do I do? Oh, I got really good this past year at putting on fake lashes.
Now
I'm
that
really
is
good
a
at
skill.
that.
That is a skill.
Yeah, I haven't had to do much of that, so I can't appreciate it as much as Joseph can.
I've never done it.
Oh, you
either.
never have? I figured doing film stuff you would. I don't know. What would I know? That's a lot of skills.
I'm really good at another thing. I'm really good at drinking spicy cocktails.
Wow.
Done.
So like a really spicy Bloody Mary or something.
Yeah, I mastered the art of drinking it.
Wow, a true Renaissance woman. Melissa.
You asked, so I thought I'd give it.
I didn't go the direction I thought.
I mean,
it would.
really.
No filter.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Spicy cocktails, kind of decent at yoga.
Yeah.
And plays piano.
Yeah.
Man, all right. So, okay,
Yeah.
but let's talk about one of your most prominent skills, which is your comedy, which comes across in your list of other skills.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear.
So,
Oh yeah. By the way, guys, I guess I do stand up. Yeah.
yes.
Occasionally, yeah. After all the waxing and stuff, then stand up is
Right. Once you're fresh, then get on stage.
Yeah.
So
when I have time, aside from the other things I just listed, sometimes I do stand up. So
right. So when you do stand up, you said yourself that your comedy knows no limits, culture, politics, race, gender, everything's fair game. Has there ever been a joke or bit that you heard somebody else do that maybe even crossed your line? Is it truly anything goes?
Actually, maybe no. I know that was on my bio. Maybe not anything goes. Like, I don't really talk about like sexually explicit stuff.
Right. You leave it at the Brazilian.
I guess
we don't need to get.
The Brazilian. That's the only hole I really talk about when I'm waxing it. But that's about it. I guess I'm not very dirty on stage. I'm more of a cleaner comic. And that's just by choice. I guess it's just more of my personality.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's probably
because like if you're a dirty comic and if you're a dirty comic, or if that's like what you like, I think that's awesome. I don't judge. I'm not here to judge you.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's not me. I like to be like myself as much as I can on stage, and like myself on stage, like the type of humor I like isn't really like dirty.
So I guess like besides necessarily being dirty though, what about like pushing sort of other types of cultural boundaries, like discussing topics that maybe are taboo in other ways, like religion, for example?
I don't really talk about religion on stage.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something that I guess it's because I'm not really religious. I don't really want to push people's buttons on religion because I don't even push it for myself.
Yeah.
I think it's something I just don't really talk about because I really believe that everybody has their choice of whatever they want to believe, and I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
So as a comedian, it's not a priority for me to like push that boundary because I don't strongly believe in a certain religion, but I do believe in people having the right to like human rights. Like if you want like I'm more like liberal, like, yeah, if you want to get an abortion, get an abortion. If not, then, you don't need to like, march about going to Planned Parenthood and stuff like that. But I don't talk about abortions on stage because I'm a female comedian, and that's probably like, ugh, another woman talking about abortion.
Yeah. It's almost like the expectation at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. So a few things I don't really talk about. I don't talk about abortion. I don't really talk about rape unless it's a really funny rape joke. but that's about it.
Okay.
So what was your background with religion growing up? That did it change from when you were young to when you got older?
I think when I was younger, my family never really were religious. Like, they never really were like, you have to be this and you have to be that. I had family members that would take me to church and stuff, and I actually enjoyed it. And I was an only child, so my parents like put me in a lot of extracurricular activities. And one of them was to be like in this church choir.
Oh, really?
And I can't sing. And by the way, I was the only like Middle Eastern girl in this choir. I was like in 8th grade. I was the worst singer. Like, the girls would turn to me and be like, what the hell is she doing here? What is this Karate Kid? Because I looked like the Karate Kid. I had like a mustache. Like, what is he doing here singing? And then I had a little Chihuahua at that time in 8th grade, and I got my Chihuahua baptized.
Wow.
Because it was like they had like a pet day, and then like 2 months later, my Chihuahua ran away, and I was like, thank God I baptized him.
Oh, man.
That's a really sweet thing to do.
That's nice, though. My church told me that animals don't go to heaven, and I just was crying. They were like, nope, animals don't have souls. Sorry, kid.
Yeah, and they broke out the Bible and like opened it up and pointed at the passage like, this is the part where it says it, just so you have proof.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's
Man,
much nicer.
I hope you're in therapy now for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
This is the therapy.
Yeah, having your own podcast.
Right, and then we can sort of air out these issues.
I hope that kind of answers your question.
Yeah, definitely.
I forgot the question.
We just sort of like boundaries with comedy, and
I mean, I make fun of like certain things I see. Like, I've noticed a lot of like Mormon solicitors out here in the streets of LA trying to recruit. I mean, stuff like that, like, I'll make fun of, but it's not me making necessarily fun of what they believe in,
sure.
But I'm making fun of what's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's like a surprise attack. Here's all this information I want to dump on you, and your salvation depends on it.
Yeah, and what they're doing is, because I was taking the bus a lot the past like the for 6 months I had to take the bus because I have epilepsy. And so they took my license away, and I was like taking the bus in LA, and like at these bus stops, they would solicit these poor people that like couldn't even speak English. Oh. And I'm like, why do you have to get like people that are so vulnerable? Like, if they understood you, they'd say no.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah, I know just what you mean. I when I did some traveling in other countries, it'd be in all of these non-English speaking, less developed neighborhoods, and boom, they have outposts out there, the Jehovah's Witness as well, where it's like, come on, these guys, you're just like...
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you believe, that's amazing. I'm so glad that you found it for yourself, but it's not like you can't force it on other people. It's like, I have this great boyfriend, and I'm so happy I have this great boyfriend, but you don't see me dragging him around and be like, meet him.
Right.
This is my amazing boyfriend. You should have him too.
You need him in your life.
Maybe that's a weird enough. Maybe that's a weird analogy.
A little bit, but
not at all.
I don't know. I guess what the Mormons are doing is what Kale is doing now. Like, everybody's like, Kale is amazing, but Kale's not knocking at your door. Okay, you know what? This is getting weird. Never mind.
Yeah, it's.
I didn't make sense of the Kale.
Kale. Oh, okay. I thought you were. Okay, I thought you said somebody named Kayla, and I'm like, is this some sort of new pop star that I'm not aware of, just named Kayla? Kale.
I guess.
Yeah. Like a hot new trend.
Right, Kale. Yeah, totally. A lot of people are talking about Kale out of LA.
They're just trying to get trendy. Yeah. They're trying to become trending, but they'll never be trending. It doesn't matter.
It matters to me.
Whatever.
So I got a question for you. How has your stand-up changed, I guess, since you first started? Because how long have you been doing it for? I don't even know that.
Oh, 7 years.
Been doing it for 7 years. Okay.
7 years of a fabulous journey. I think it's changed tremendously. Every year it changes. Like, if I look back at videos from my first 3 years, I cringe.
Oh, yeah.
It's that bad. And like, I remember like when I was doing those sets, I'd be like, oh yeah, that was a killer set. It's so funny how in the beginning you're so confident, and then towards like later down the line, you become less confident. But I was just so confident. I was like, oh my God, that freaking was the best set ever. And if I watch that set like right now, I'll be like, oh my God, that was so stupid. I can't believe I even said those jokes.
There's a word for that. I can't remember exactly what it is, or like a concept of when you first get into something, you're very confident, and it's just the sheer ignorance of not having done it, where you think it's easy. And then the more you learn about it, the least confident you become.
Yeah.
It's like a bell curve, and then after a long time, after you've done it for years and years, then that confidence starts to grow again until you're really good. So it's hard to.
That's exactly the journey that you go through in stand up, at least for me. Yeah, it's so bad. Like because what you're doing is you're just trying to get comfortable on stage. You don't know what your voice is. You don't know what your jokes are. But like when one joke does work, you think you're the shit.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
That was
but
enough
like
to make
it's
that set
different
kill.
7 years down the line. It's like a completely different journey. It's a completely different process. Like I would never, those jokes are like hacky when I look at them. I'm like, why would I even say a joke about how hairy I am? How hairy I am. That's so stupid.
You just thought it was funny at the time. But yeah, you grew out of it.
So funny at the time. But it's like hacky, or like talking about like, oh, a fetus joke. Like, come on.
Yeah,
like I just was watching cringe.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's sort of like the more you do it, the more you realize that you don't know, that you weren't aware that you didn't know to even consider in the first place. There's all these techniques and subtleties that you never were aware of that suddenly now you're critiquing yourself in a different way.
You know what's really interesting about this?
Yeah.
That we have to deal with now in modern times that people didn't in the past, like other stand-ups or other actors or anybody that produces anything now. Everything is up online forever. So when you're first learning a skill, that's forever. Like you're never going to be able to get rid of that. So like what the old masters, like we'll never know what it was like, but we will for everybody else.
Right.
That's kind of terrifying.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's life, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it is life. And also, I guess with stand-up, that's the process. Maybe it's different with other fields.
Oh, no, I mean, but the thing is I don't think most people are recorded, or at least they weren't up until now.
Well, yeah, I mean,
earlier.
I know that a lot of even the old late night shows, they don't even have a lot of the episodes saved. I know that somebody like Jay Leno never like records his routines, and so they're mostly just done once, and then unless somebody recorded it, they're just gone.
Right, so nobody saw him until he was really super competent then, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing.
At least on a wide scale.
Who are some of your influences, by the way?
Interesting. Man, I have so many. I honestly, this is really funny. She doesn't even do stand-up that much anymore, but Ellen DeGeneres was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, me too, actually.
Just because if you look at her style, nobody can do what she does. She takes something so normal, like doing her laundry, for example, and the process of her doing it, and she just makes it hilarious. She never has to like go dirty or anything. It's just her just talking, explaining something makes it hilarious. And I just really respect her style because I've never seen anybody else like her.
She is great.
Yeah, Ellen is amazing. I love Kevin Hart. I think he's so funny. Kevin Hart, just all the impressions he does of his family and how he jumps into like talking about his uncle to his grandpa to this to that. It's so hilarious because I love talking about my family, and the way that he does it just makes it so effortless. And he's like the funniest storyteller. I love Kevin Hart. I love Trevor Noah. Oh my God, Trevor Noah. I have so many comedians that inspire me.
So what made you decide?
I love
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, and Whitney Cummings.
Oh, Whitney Cummings.
I like Whitney Cummings too. Yeah.
Damn, you have a lot of influences. That's a good thing.
I do. Yeah. I think I watch a lot of comedy too. I don't just focus on myself.
Right.
But yeah.
when you first got started, though, because a lot of them, I know Ellen has been doing it for a while, and I was agreeing with you that when I jumped in and cut you off on accident. I loved Ellen. She was one of the first stand-ups I ever saw on TV and actually like paid attention to and laughed a lot at. And yeah,
I love
she's
her.
Amazing. It was that special where I don't know any more. All I remember is look at my butt. Like she was talking about looking at your ass in the mirror at a store when you're getting clothing. Does this ring a bell?
Yeah, she just takes anything normal and she just turns it so funny. And I think that's like a true gift she has.
Yeah, and her delivery is really good. She has that like aloofness that she sort of puts on that, you know, like just she has a much more silly way of describing all of these ordinary things.
Yeah, she seems underrated in terms of like people that would, because you're the first person I've heard that's said that she's an influence that we've talked to. Then again, I don't know how often we ask that question, but
I've seen her on some lists, you know, of like of the all-time greats. I think she pops up on those.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I don't have those lists here, so I can't fight you on it.
So was Ellen somebody that, besides influencing you, like what was it that really inspired you to do this? Because you said only 7 years ago. What sort of changed for you where you're like, you know what, I'm going to get on stage and tell jokes?
You know what? Like, nobody ever, first of all, told me to do stand-up. I had a few friends that were doing it, and I always admired it. Like, I would watch them. Like, I'd go to their shows, and I'd be like, I don't know how anybody would ever have the balls to get on stage and perform. So, like, if you told me, like, 10 years ago, oh, yeah, you're going to be doing stand-up, I would laugh. Because I don't think, like, I wouldn't, it's insanely difficult. I would be freaked out. But I was doing a lot of impressions, and I love to act. And I was doing impressions of just random things. And I really wanted to play around and see what I could do with that. And one of my friends was like, why don't you try stand-up? Because he did it. And he's like, try and see if it's something you're interested in. Maybe that's where you can maybe showcase some characters or talk about your family or this and that. So I did it, and then I really liked it. I enjoyed it. And then I started getting like small little shows around town, like nothing paid. And then it would be like one show after another, and it just started escalating. And I guess I just never got out of it. And then that's pretty much how it happened. And I really enjoy it. I started actually mostly in Seattle, and then I did it in LA.
Okay.
But I love the field, and I think there's a huge, like, what is it? Boom, I guess. Everybody wants to do stand up now. It's crazy. Like if you go to Netflix, there's so many stand up specials now. There's like some crazy boom right now in stand up. Yeah. But like when I started, it wasn't a crazy boom. It was just like, oh, let me test it out.
Yeah, almost like a second boom after the 80s.
We're overdue. Yeah. We were overdue.
But I mean, I'm really glad I stuck with it, and I'm proud to, you know, be female and be Persian and do this, and you know, I hope that I inspire other people that are, you know, maybe culturally not accepted to do stand up, and hopefully I can change that for other people too. Yeah, because I think anybody should be able to do it, especially a Middle Eastern girl.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Just so culturally not acceptable.
Yeah, have you ever considered doing any comedy in the Middle East or in Iran?
No, well, you definitely aren't allowed to in Iran.
No.
But no, right now I could possibly go to Dubai, but I haven't yet. Right now I'm just focusing on building a fan base out here and then going from there. But I do a lot of like Middle Eastern events in the US and Canada, and that's been a blast. Yeah. But I do like all types of shows. I don't only do Middle Eastern shows.
Right.
No, of course.
Like I only speak English on stage.
Oh yeah, I saw in a video you were speaking in Persian, correct? Is that right?
Yeah, but for on stage it's English.
Yeah, it was on like your YouTube channel, and I was like, oh, let me check this one out. And then you start talking, and I'm like, oh
my god,
I'm not was that the Obama one? Obama in it?
You were interviewing people in LA.
I was thinking of a different one.
Oh yeah. That was actually for I shot that for Persian New Year.
But that's
kind of for the Persian.
Cool, that
demographic.
I thought you were going to take it a different direction at the end, because I was thinking you were going to be like, and now this is what it's like, and then have Trump just doing something, because you know how Trump is.
This was before Trump.
Oh, it was?
This was shot I shot that 2 years ago.
Oh wow, I'm way behind.
It's new to you though.
It's new to me. Yeah. Whoops.
It's all good, guys.
You got to pay attention to the subtle.
Somebody's stalking my YouTube.
Yeah, and it's
Love it.
us.
It's us. Yeah, we are. It's true. I went through and watched a bunch. Like I watched a bunch of the reels and stuff. It was good. It was neat.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What? That's what we have to do.
We're making casting decisions over here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. that's
Speaking of,
awesome.
you're going to be in a movie this fall, right?
Yeah, it's an indie flick. It should come out in the summer, but I still don't know the details. I just had a minor role in it, but it's really funny, dark comedy. So Austin Sound, hopefully, if you guys see it in theaters or Netflix or something, I still don't know where it's going to be aired at.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't seen any advertising or anything for it yet, and that's coming up. You said when is it in the summer?
Possibly.
Possibly in
Yeah,
the summer.
it's supposed to be in the summer. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, 'cause
they're in a film. They may be doing a film festival, but it's supposed to be out sometime in the summer.
Okay. Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah.
I heard you talk to the director on one of your podcast episodes, and I know he was saying September, but that was like last year, so it's always changing.
It's always changing. I never know. Like every time I talk to him, he's like, "It's coming out. Prepare." I was like, "Okay."
So what is the movie
I don't know.
about? Like briefly, what's the movie about?
It's about a woman who has a daughter, like a young daughter, and she has her daughter do all this, like get into all these pageants. Like she's a pageant mom, and her daughter doesn't really like that, but she's doing it because, of course, the mom wants to be famous.
Right.
So what she does is she hires somebody to. The moral is she wants to get famous, the mom. So she hires somebody to kidnap her daughter so she can be like a like a famous mom looking for her daughter.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. That's a good premise.
Yeah, so everybody's in this movie, from like Craig Robinson, Skeet Ulrich is in it.
I saw Chris Parnell.
Linda Cardellini, Jamie Presley. All the funniest people are in this movie.
That's pretty cool.
Great.
So were you meeting a lot of those people for the first time, or have you networked with them before?
No, I met them for the first time. I met Linda Cardellini, and she was so sweet, and she she had me like read lines with her, like help her prepare, and I got to, I don't know, it was really cool process.
That's cool. So do you see yourself doing more film in the future, or TV even?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to. I'd love to do more television. That's the goal. That's the dream.
Do you write a lot as well outside of stand-up? And I know, because I've seen the stuff on the YouTube channel, obviously, and stand-up is writing.
Yeah. Stand-up is writing. I write sketches. I write some other things that I'm trying to like develop, but I'm not like a professional screenwriter. I do more like jokes and short form stuff.
Sure.
But it's like out here, if you're trying to make it, whatever make it means, everybody's doing everything. You can't just be an actor or just be a stand-up. You have to like be able to do your social media. You have to be able to edit. You have to be able to update your website. You have to be able to know how to navigate. You have to have a certain amount of skills that you can rotate, because it's the industry keeps changing, and you have to be able to multitask and be talented in all different fields to assist yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And we do that with the media stuff that we produce out here. It's the same thing where we find ourselves writing it and then shooting it and editing it and creating the promotions and updating all the website stuff, just like you're saying. It's nuts.
Exactly. Like if you didn't know how to edit, then you'd have to go hire somebody else to do it, and then you have to deal with that.
Right.
But it's like if you do it all, then you get it all done in one day. You don't have to rely on anybody.
Yeah.
And because everything is moving so fast, you have to have a fast turnover rate for everything now.
Yeah.
So you don't have time to rely on other people. You have to just do it.
Right. It could take another year.
Because if you don't, it could take another day. And if you don't do it, guess what? Somebody else is going to do it, and they're going to get their job done, and nobody's going to. It's like you snooze, you lose.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, you come up with a good idea, even if you don't tell it to anybody, it'll be made within a few years. Somebody will make it. That's just how it works.
Are you familiar with Mitch Hedberg's work? His stand-up.
With Word?
Oh, with Mitch
What?
Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg. Have you ever heard of that name?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had a joke about that where basically he was talking about when he first started doing stand-up and he was getting it big, all these people were approaching him and they were like, oh, you can do stand-up, but can you act? And it just seems like it's more and more true every single day. So it's funny you bring that up.
It's true. And on top of doing all this, I take acting classes. I do this, I do that, because you have to.
Yeah, you have to be extremely well-rounded. Everyone expects everything of everyone now. It's madness.
Yeah, and you have to work out, and you have to look good, and you have to do everything.
Wait, what? Nobody told me about that. There goes that dream.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
Oh, well.
Well, it's almost like going back to the old days where all the Hollywood actors would be able to sing, dance, act. They were like known for doing it all.
I suppose they had to. And everything was live back then, too. Like really far back.
I think they're bringing that back now with La La Land and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Everybody has to know how to sing and dance.
Yeah.
That's a bit much, don't you think? Doesn't that seem excessive? Like, you can't just be good at one thing? Whatever happened to that?
Hey, Dick Van Dyke could do it.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, my manager called me like a month ago, and he's like, do you know how to sing? And I was like, no, even though my mom thinks I'm a phenomenal singer.
Wow.
And he's like, well, they're casting live action Aladdin, and they need like a Jasmine who can sing. And I was like, no, I can't do that.
Wow, could you imagine?
Just based off my chin hair, I would probably get the role, but not my music skills.
Jasmine is known for her chin hair.
I'm unfamiliar. I haven't noticed
the animated frame of the,
there
the
was
single
one frame?
hair.
I missed that one. Yeah, must have happened too fast.
Well, oh man, I don't know. I guess I'm really looking forward to watching it though. Whenever it gets made, I think that'll be amazing.
That'll be really.
I watched Beauty and the Beast, the new one, and it was so good.
Really?
I've not seen it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to check that out.
It's probably too girly for you guys, huh?
What? I love Beauty and the Beast.
Watch. I do love the old cartoon.
Yeah, I watched that on repeat when I was a kid.
So I wanted to go see Beauty and the Beast, and I told that to my boyfriend, and he took me to the movie theater, and we went and saw it. And then every time I bring up anything, like, hey, let's do this, let's do that, he always brings up, I took you to Beauty and the Beast. You know how gay that was? I had to take you to Beauty and the Beast, and he won't let it go. So anytime I want to do something, he just brings up that, I took you to Beauty and the Beast.
But Beauty and the Beast has everything in it. It's got a beast. It's got beauty.
Yeah, beasts aren't girly.
Singing utensils and stuff. What more do you want in a movie?
He thought it was too girly of a movie.
What? Oh, that aggravates me. Yeah.
Well, what is he going to say with the live adaptation of Little Mermaid then?
Yeah, what a monster. I'm sure it's great. I haven't seen, like I said,
it was really good. Guys, go watch it. It's an amazing movie, and I will definitely see The Little Mermaid.
I will now. I will.
I don't even know if they're making it, but I hope they are. I don't even.
I'm assuming they do. Like this whole new live action Disney film thing.
They're just gonna check off each one over the years.
Yeah, they don't have to do anything new. Like they don't have to write new.
But you know what I liked about it? I just stabbed myself with my nail. They
okay. Are you
at least they're creative.
Oh, let's call the ambulance.
They really stuck true to the cartoon.
Okay.
Was it almost
That's what
the cast looked very similar from appearance that I saw anyway.
I loved it. And it was just like brought back memories, and they just made it beautiful, and I thought the casting was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
The art direction looked really cool.
I haven't seen anything
Everything about it.
I just saw the lead actress, and that was it. I haven't seen anything else. I didn't see what the Beast looks like. How convincing is the Beast?
Oh, really good.
Oh, man.
So good.
Right,
I loved it. Oh, my God, I want to watch it again.
You better tell your boyfriend that he better enjoy it. He better watch it again.
What?
He better watch it again, and he better like it.
Dude, have you guys seen La La Land?
No.
No, I have not.
Okay, that's another good one.
I heard
I loved it. I went and saw it on my birthday, and it was me, my best friend, and my mom. And me and my best friend were just crying. And my mom was she was like a little child. She was like, she spilled popcorn on herself. Then her phone starts ringing. Then she goes up and pees, and then she's laughing at us, and we're just like, she just like didn't get the movie at all.
The order of you saying that, really, the order of you saying that, I was imagining all that happening like in the same spot. So then she peed and then she left you guys. I was like, what? Okay.
My mom is like a 12-year-old. She once actually did pee. I took her to Santa Monica, and like if you make my mom laugh too hard, she can't control it, and she pees. Oh, no. And she borrowed my shoes that day, and we went to the pier, and we made a joke, and she was like, stop. She warned you. She's like, stop making me laugh. Stop making me laugh, or I'll pee. And this time she really peed, and she peed on my shoes.
Oh,
it was so bad.
At least you were on a pier.
Lesson learned, I think, right?
So you do comedy about your mom. How does she like that? Is she a good sport about it? Or?
She loves it. She comes, sits right up front, and she just gives me a list before. She has like a list of jokes she likes about herself, and she's like, tell this joke, and then talk about this. And yeah, she loves it.
That's funny. How does she like the peeing on your shoes joke?
I never said that on stage, but like, she laughs so hard to this day. I'm like, hey, Mom, remember Santa Monica? All I have to say is Santa Monica. And she'll start laughing.
Oh, man, that's funny. And then you got to start worrying again.
I've always heard of people like giving that warning, but I've never heard it come to fruition. Like, I've never heard anybody get pushed to the point of peeing.
No, I have an aunt like that.
You do?
Yeah.
And you made her pee?
Well, it was like her and my mother, and they were like in the back of the truck, and they like, one of them farted, and then the other one laughed, and then the other one farted, and then it just got out of
They did that until they peed.
Yeah, so I'm sure they'll love that story on here too, but they'll never listen to this.
Yeah. So, yeah. My mom is really funny. I get a lot of my like comedy material from my family, actually.
Yeah,
they're so funny to me.
It sounded like a lot of what I heard on your stand-up stuff was about family, and I think it's a good way to go. Because family's ridiculous. You have to be around them. You learn. They're always doing.
And you can be both personal and relatable because everybody has a family, but you can still be. You know everything about your family.
Everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're just parents. Each family is so different, but it's just they're so unique to me, and I'm nothing like them. And it's just like naturally, all I want to do is just talk about the crazy things they do. It's just hilarious to me.
Are they in LA as well?
No, they're in Seattle.
Oh, they're in Seattle. Okay. Do
you guys in Wisconsin? So do you guys just focus mainly on the podcast? Do you guys do other things too?
Yeah, we do film. I'm a filmmaker, and we have a conference that we're running with the group that runs this podcast this September on September 30th, where we're going to be premiering the new movie that we put together, which is called Batman and Jesus.
Yep, and I'm in it.
Oh, cool.
Briefly.
Oh, you guys have to let me know when that's out so I can watch it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it should be up like similar to your movie. We're not exactly sure what we're going to do, but we're planning to have it on Amazon either the same day or right after the premiere.
That's so cool. That's awesome. And what's Wisconsin comedy scene like out there?
Well, it's not bad actually. There's we work with some of the people that run some of the comedy around here. There's our friend Matt Kemple has the Underground Collaborative, and he brings in a lot of comedians and does various shows. And there's we have like the Comedy Sports where people do sort of improv and
yeah.
Everybody knows Comedy Sports.
That's cool.
It's like a national thing, right?
Yeah,
the original one was here.
Yeah, I
this
think
is
so.
What the first one was.
I know there is in LA.
Yeah, they spread all over the place, or
That's
around the world,
cool.
I think. Yeah, but it started here, and there was a lot of people that started here as well, and then I guess they went out to LA. Like Dan Harmon was one of them. He actually started out at the Comedy Sports here.
Do you guys feel like because you do film and stuff, you should make the move to LA or New York?
Oh yeah,
I get it a lot. Yeah, especially when I come out there. Then everybody's like, "Why don't you live out here?"
Yeah,
I have less reason.
Why don't you live out here? Come on, buddy.
Yeah, you'll do much better out here. I'm like, well, I'm a little bit poor to be anywhere but my parents' house right now.
Yeah, isn't the cost of living out there pretty insane too? Like you have to spend boatloads of money.
Yeah, New York or LA, they're both super pricey.
I'd have to get a waxing license to make it.
Yeah.
Do you supplement
So
your career with like a day job, like another job as well?
Well, yeah.
I wax people's buttholes. That's my day job.
That's your day job?
No,
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I totally believed you. I was
I'm ready to move to
wow.
LA all of a sudden.
Well, I guess those buttholes need waxing. Someone's got to do it. And you've got the skills.
So funny. No, I do some side hustling here and there, just like everybody else. But that's about it. Nothing permanent.
That sounds terrifying. That's the reason. That's what I'm afraid of right there.
Yeah, it is terrifying. Do you know how many bachelorette trips I had to turn down this year? Yeah.
No, I don't. How many?
2. I had to turn down 2. Thank you for asking.
That is a lot. Well, I thought it was worth asking because if it's more than one, it's already a lot.
I'm totally busy, guys. I can't make it for that reason.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have $1,000 to spend for a weekend. Count me out.
Right.
That's always aggravating, though. That expectation.
Yeah.
That obligation of having to do things. Hey, come do this thing. Like, by the way, it's going to cost $1,000, but you better be there or I'll hate you. Like, why does it have to be that way? Can't you guys pay for it?
It's insane. I think weddings are getting really excessive now.
Yes,
it's becoming crazy town. I don't know. If I ever get married, it's going to be like, oh, by the way, you guys, I'm getting married next weekend. Who's available? Oh, you're not? No, that's too bad.
Are you just going to do the whole like eloping thing and just elope? I think it costs like $200. It's like super cheap. Or at least it is here. I don't know.
That's a good option. Cheap.
We wanted it.
Yeah, I want to do a drive-through wedding in a Vegas chapel. They have drive-through weddings.
That sounds awesome.
Who's in the driver's seat?
And I want to dress up as Cher from like the 80s music video.
See, I don't know if you're kidding anymore after the butthole waxing thing. Now I don't know anymore. Like I legitimately believe that you want to dress up like Cher, so I'm just gonna write this down here, and we'll add this to the detail list later.
You know what? Like you ever see like those 80s, those epic 80s like wedding gowns and makeup and stuff people used to wear?
Yeah.
Like I almost like want to do that.
I think it would be
Is that weird?
fun. It would be more fun.
It'd be more fun, and I'd want it to be all 80s. Like it's all 80s DJ, all 80s clothing. That would be like a really fun wedding for me.
Yeah, that would be very memorable.
I don't know if I should believe any of this. I'm just sitting here in disbelief half the time now. Like, is this bullshit? I don't know if this is real. Is this real? Are you being honest right now?
No, honestly, okay, you know how a lot of women, they dream about like their wedding day and it's going to be epic and I'm going to be in this dress and la la la. But for me, I already get that type of attention on stage, like all this attention on me and blah, blah, blah. I'm actually shy. I would be shy to like have some huge day just for me. Like it doesn't make me comfortable being the center of attention in a white dress.
Yeah, and I suppose you've already been there in a sense, like what you're saying with stage. I mean, I never really thought about that before. That kind of part of it it's a big deal for most people, but for you, I mean, you've already had a boatload of people looking at you.
Yeah. Well, I think,
and white doesn't look good on me. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't want all these people staring at me.
I'm sorry.
We'll have to take your word for it.
I have no idea.
I didn't picture you as being poor aware of white, but
don't listen to him. He told me otherwise before the podcast started.
Well, it's different though because when you're doing stand-up or when like if I'm playing a character, it's like I can sort of remove myself a little bit because I'm like, well, I don't really act this way, so this isn't really the same thing as like this is really me, really getting married, and I really want you to pay this much attention to me.
Yeah, you're used to people just saying they don't hate me, they just hate who I'm pretending to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I know we've talked a boatload about your stand-up, but I want to do a little bit more. I want to talk a little bit more about it. What's your process like? Like, are you one of those people that like obsesses over a joke for a long time? Do you commonly throw your material out and start again, or do you kind of like stick with the same stuff? And like, what do you do? Tell us a little bit about it. I just want to know.
The process. I'll get an idea, like a stupid idea, a random thought. I put it on my phone, and then I turn it into a bit on stage, and then I play with it. And then see if I can add it to a current bit or tag it. Or my process is all over the place, but I don't dwell on a joke. If it doesn't work, I throw it away. And then I get tired of jokes easily. Then I retire them.
So you don't do a lot of the same stuff for very long then. That's pretty uncommon.
I do. Well, it depends. Like I'll do if I like it, I'll keep it. Like I can't even. Oh my gosh, me trying to explain my technique, my way. It's so complicated.
Nobody ever addresses this. They're like, tell us about your process. Doesn't happen that often.
I'll get stuck on something and I'll work on it. But then I'll get sick of it and I just don't do it anymore. I'm very weird like that.
Even if it's getting responses?
Even if it's good. If
Wow.
I just get sick of saying it so much, I'm like, I'm done with this joke. And then what's funny is that happened to me. I was like trying to prepare for a certain show. And I was like, oh, do I have any jokes about it was something that I thought would work for this particular demographic. So I went back and looked at videos and I was watching these videos and I was like, oh my God, I forgot about all these jokes I used to do. And then this was a couple of weeks ago. So I grabbed some old jokes and then I threw it into my set and I had fun with it. Like I forgot about it and then I brought it back in. But I do that a lot. I'll get sick and I just don't do it anymore.
Wow. I mean, I get it. I understand. That's why I did, because I tried my hand at stand-up here at just open mics. I'm not going to, by no means am I a comedian, but I've done a lot of sketch stuff over the last few years. And in the sketch group that I was in, we did a brand new show every month because we all hated the idea of having to do the same show over and over again, even though it doesn't matter to the audience most of the time because it's a different audience. But like for stand-up, that's usually not the norm to continuously cast out jokes and build new ones. But I suppose it's one way to keep everything fresh and keep it interesting.
Well, because then it's not fun for me.
Right.
It's like if I keep going and I'm doing the same set for a year, I'm like, what? I hate these jokes. It's not fun for me. It's fun for me when I get to go on stage and try something new, and then have fun with that.
Wow.
So right now I'm currently in that phase where I'm trying to throw these things out because I'm sick of some of these jokes I've been doing this past year.
What
so
about,
I'm like, oh.
What about Kim Kardashian? Yeah. Is she still in the fold?
Yeah, she's still in rotation?
No, I haven't done Kim K in a long time.
She's not as big, you know? I mean...
I haven't. I just think it's like, whatever, you know? I did for a while, especially when Kanye was about to run for president. But then, no, I haven't really been motivated to talk about her.
Yeah. There's new people out there for you to find to impersonate.
Yeah, to impersonate. I know.
So you're constantly in the state of writing.
I'm trying to like put in more characters into my stuff. I like storytelling. That's the type of, I'm not really a one-liner at all. I think I may have one-liner, but I can't tell one-liners, and I just like to tell stories and act them out or this or that. That's my type of stand-up.
Right on. So then, to close out, we just want to mention that you also then do the podcast, which is Mel Talk.
Yes.
It's not girl talk.
Yeah.
It's not comedy talk. It's Mel Talk.
It's Mel Talk, yeah.
So what is Mel Talk? What could people look forward to on Mel Talk that they're not getting in this interview?
That they're not getting on this show?
On this show, yeah.
You know what? I don't really talk too much about my stand-up on my show. I usually talk about the guests and what they're up to.
And not what?
Yeah, and then it's just a lot of ranting. So I don't really talk about my stand-up or my inspirations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when you listen to Mel Talk, you're just getting. Honestly, we don't have any rules on it. So I can bring a comedian on stage, and maybe all they want to do is talk about how shitty their parents are, or how shitty their kids are, or you know, it just varies.
Yeah.
So. Or like I had my guest Ethan Banzel about 2 months ago, and he's a phenomenal writer, and we just talked about how to get into writing because I think that's fascinating.
Definitely,
absolutely.
So kind of like there are no rules with Mel Talk, even though a lot of podcasts they have a theme and they're sticking to it and they ask particular questions. With me, it's not really that case. maybe it would be more successful if it was, but maybe it wouldn't. And I don't really care. I'm just doing it because I like it.
Yeah.
That's the most important reason to do anything. And I think people lose sight of that a lot.
Yeah.
A
lot of people are like, well, I got to get a podcast so then I can get an agent so then they can look at my podcast. I'm like, I don't care. Listen, I have this podcast. You want to listen to it or you don't want to listen to it. It's up to you. I don't even look at my numbers. I don't.
Right on.
Wow, I like your style. I got to tell you, I like your style quite a bit. We have very similar outlooks on many things. There's not many people that I run into that do, but
who cares about numbers, man? Everything's becoming numbers. How many followers do you have? How many this do you have? I'm like, I don't care, man. I'm putting content out there. I'm creating, and isn't that what really is important?
Definitely.
Are you basically compelled to constantly be creating then? Like you can't stop even if you wanted to?
Yes, but I'll go through a phase where I'm not creating. I may not be inspired to do anything, and then it'll spark up again.
Yeah,
I go through phases like that.
You got to ride the waves
definitely.
when they come.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and in the meantime, like I usually put videos on my Instagram. I don't do Facebook that much anymore, but Instagram, I'll upload videos and stuff like that. Things that I find funny. But sometimes I won't post anything. So I'm trying to be good about regularly posting.
Yeah. All the algorithms, they're like, you better post every week or we're going to shut all your followers out.
Yeah. You seem super active though, from what I've seen on like Twitter and also Instagram.
And what is your Instagram if people want to look at it?
It's at Mel Shoshahi. So MELSHOSHAHI.
Right on. It'll be in the title of this episode, people.
Yep.
That's how you spell it.
That's how it is. Yeah, and all the things.
Mel Shoshahi. Yeah. I mean, I try to post regularly, but it's hard. I know some people that just post like every day, twice a day, and I just can't. I don't want to take a photo of my coffee and show everybody that I'm drinking it.
Yeah.
Like what? Why?
I know. You feel the pressure, but you're like, but I don't want to.
Right. I don't want to diminish the quality of the things I'm doing.
Yeah. Or like take a photo of yourself naked, like in like a bikini, and then write a Dalai Lama quote. Like I don't get that.
Yeah, and then there it'll have 64,000 likes.
Man, that's always infuriating.
Right? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, life is amazing. Count your blessings. Everything is one. What does that have to do with your nipple out? I don't get it.
Well, I think that's a good note to end on, right? I think that was...
Oh, yeah. And if you guys go on my Instagram, my nipple is not out. So sorry.
All right, we'll keep that in mind.
So for the few listeners that were hoping for that, sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Sorry, Mom. It's not out.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. You've been delightful. It's been great
Thank you, guys.
Yes, it's been really great.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah,
you guys are
pleasure.
awesome.
Our
I need to come to Wisconsin.
Yes, you should. If you're free in September, come on down to the premiere. That'd be great to see you.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Or come do some comedy
nice.
shows. Either way.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd probably come for comedy and to see your premiere.
Right.
Kill two birds with
The
one
premiere
stone.
is a comedy thing, so that is mostly a comedy, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
So I think you'd be right at home.
And yeah, check out Melissa Shoshahi, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
You.
Thank you for listening to Myth Informed. Myth Informed is brought to you by Mythicist Milwaukee. Producer Sean Frasick. Associate producers Fritz Blondone and Kristen Whitaker Hood. Engineer Josh Benishik. Technical consultant Jason Lawson. And hosts Brian, Dimitri, Jacob, and Joseph. Every week we produce a new podcast that sheds light on religion, secularism, and mythology. If you enjoy this show, please support us on Patreon at patreon.com/mythicist. Mythicist Milwaukee also brings major secular conferences and debates to the Milwaukee area, along with community events, both local and online. To support us in bringing future events, become a member at mythicistmilwaukee.com to receive member-only benefits. You can also visit mythicistmilwaukee.com and hit the donate button located at the bottom of each page to place a financial donation amount of your choice. And now, the closing theme, written and performed by Shelley Siegel.
There was a time when everyone believed Helios in the sun beside underneath. Isis of fertility and ether of the Greeks. They all lie at rest, and who will be the next to die? You know they are all myths, and who will be the next to die? There was a time when everyone believed Helios in the sun, Poseidon in the sea, Athena's wisdom and beauty, and Hades underneath. Isis of fertility and ether of the Greeks. They all lie at rest, and who will be the next to die? You know they